Welcome to our new video. In this video we are going to see bayonet attack which is played against Pirc defense. So let's see the move order. White starts with e4, d6 and this is called as Pirc defense. d4, knight f6, knight c3, g6. These are typical Pirc moves, and then here the main line is knight f3, but white plays h4 here and it is called as bayonet attack. Although this move is also very interesting for white side, so if you are preparing against Pirc defense, then this is also one of the recommendation which you can play in blitz tournaments and also in rapid tournaments, because white get immediate attack, and if black plays something wrong then white can easily get advantage. So after h4 the obvious move is h5, and the second move is also bishop g7. So let's see h5 first. After h5 white can play just f3, and now bishop g7, knight h3 and short castle, knight g5. Here black can try moves like c5, white can just play d5, knight a6 and here bishop e3. White has a pleasant position here, and next moves are queen d2, long castle, bishop e2 and g4. White don't have any problem. Black also can't do anything, like black can play knight c7 and try for b5, but obviously white's attack is very much faster. Because of this, h5 is a bad move. So instead of h5 black can play bishop g7, which is a good move from black side, although black is allowing h5, so white will obviously play h5 here. And now here knight into h5 and g into h5 are two moves, but g into h5 is obviously mistake, because these two pawns are already very weak. After g into h5 white can continue with knight g2, knight d7, knight g3, c5. Black has to do something. Black has to open up the position and take some central breaks. So after c5 we can just play bishop e3, rook g8, and now the simplest continuation is d into c5, knight into c5, bishop into c5, d into c5, queen into d8, king into d8, long castle check, which is very important, knight d7, and now white can just play knight f5, which is very good move, threatening to take this bishop, plus now rook into h5 is threat, and as you can see white's king is completely safe, but black's king is already very weak. Also this pawn structure is also weak and all pawns are scattered. Our two knights, this bishop is also quite strong after bishop c4, so white is clearly better here. So after g5 after h5, g into h5 is mistake. Now black can try knight into h5. Here we will play g4, knight f6, and now g5, knight h5. Again black also can play knight d7 here, but knight h5 we will see first. So after knight h5 we will simply play bishop e3, knight c6, d5. Although these moves are not forced, like black can play c6, knight d7, e5, many other options, but this is just looks good and obvious moves, so that's why I have included. If black plays like c5, e5 or knight d7, you can just play bishop e2 and try to capture this knight. The another plan is just to play queen d2, long castle, and knight e2, knight f4, and to open up this file and start attack. So let's see the variation. Bishop e3, knight c6, d5, knight e5, bishop e2, c6, to exchange this important pawn. Obviously never take d into c6 in any variation in any position except you are gaining some material or mating attack. So after c6, white plays f4, knight d7, bishop into h5, g into h5, and now here bishop d4. So the plan is to exchange this very strong bishop on g7, and after bishop d4, black has to take, queen into d4, rook g8, long castle, and this position is perfectly fine for white, as you can see our queen is very strong, this rook file is very strong, this rook is also very strong, and two knights are just dominating. Like this knight is currently weak, but after knight f3, these two knights will dominate the center. Also these two pawns are also very strong, and black's position is very looks very dirty, because black's pieces are not opened up yet, and black also don't have any concrete plan, like how black will open up this bishop, right? So bishop don't have any good square. How black will safeguard his king? Black cannot do short castle, as already this h8 rook is moved, but also doing long castle is also very difficult. So white's plan is just to play knight f3, rook e1, or even taking rook h5 and slowly playing e5, e6 and start dangerous attack. Okay, so let's move to our final variation. After g5, black can play knight d7, and which is a very good move. Usually players will play knight h5, but knight d7 is perfectly fine, and this is a great way to play against bayonet attack if you are playing as black. So after knight d7, white will play f4, c5, d5, and now knight a6. Again knight f3, just developing moves, knight c7, and now slowly black is making a plan to play this move b5, a6, b5, rook b8, b5, and in longer terms black has to play b5, otherwise the position is very complex. To avoid b5, white will simply play a4, a6, bishop d3, and now here black can play b5, but although after into b5, bishop b7, we can just simply develop our pieces by playing queen d2, and now white's position is completely again fine, because of we are just pawn up, and even moves like short castle are not working because of queen h2 and deadly attack on h7. This is why b5 is a mistake here, but black can play b6, and now here white can continue with queen e2, bishop b7, just white is avoiding b5, and now very interesting move for white is rook a3. It's mind-blowing that white is moving this rook, which usually we don't see plans like this. The main plan is to just play rook b3, and also to prevent this capture. Now white can capture with this rook. So after rook a3, black's only hope is to safeguard this pawn, and now to do some counterplay. So black can play h5, black can try to play h5. If not, then white can just push f5, bishop f4, rook b3 as we saw, and queen h2. So the attack is very simple. So the last hope for black is to play h5. Now g into h6, rook into h6, rook into h6. We will exchange everything. Queen h2, bishop g7, and now knight g5. So the theory finish here. White have absolutely control over the board. White's next move is queen h7, and maybe white can just play like this. Even white can just move this bishop to d2 and somehow develop his pieces by playing e5, knight e4, or f5. Obviously queen h7 is one of the best move. So overall this opening is very good for white to play against Pirc defense. in at least rapid and blitz games. And from black, you should prepare this move. Bishop g7 is very important. After h5, knight into h5, and knight d7. Remember to play knight f d7 and not knight h5 there. So this was important for black. So we will end this video here. If you like this video, then please share with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and comment any doubts if you have. Thank you again for watching this video.